Oops. Nikita, how is it the fate brings you here? What's going on? Ah. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Do you remember the spaghetti story? Nikita's appearance here reminded me of yet another type of devotee, and it's called just that. No report on compliance. So what is an executive supposed to do when he's given an instruction or an order, but there is nothing coming from the other side, only silence? What does he need to do? Of course, he's going to start calling, checking on it, what happened as a result. Did something occur or didn't it? Basically, this compliance report, if you remember the communication cycle, has to do with a very, very important part of the communication cycle. An acknowledgement. If we don't have that, we're puzzled. But if the acknowledgement took place, then our attention is free to go away from that cycle. And one can call the cycle complete. And we can forget all about it. By the way, very often people will ask, what do you do with all these dispatches? What's their fate after the fact? In order for communication system in the company to be well and fully and correctly organized, there needs to be a so-called filing system. Well, some dispatches, as you saw last time, need to be destroyed, just because they're no longer needed, so we throw them away. But some have to be saved for a certain time, based on whatever regulations existing in the company. This could be some sort of accounting files, or advertising, or marketing files in the company, etc. In short, the company has to have a clear, well-organized, good filing system, and using this system would mean that all dispatches have their place, either in the file or in the wastebasket. That's really important. That makes your work more orderly. You know, there is an interesting occurrence that takes place. If there is no filing system, moreover no three-basket system, and moreover there is no clear and understandable communication system, then sooner or later this will take place. A person sits behind his desk, opens the drawer, the desk drawer, or of a filing cabinet, and all of a sudden realizes that it's about time that he puts some order in there. And so what do? They will pull all the particles out of the drawer or filing cabinet and look over all of these past dispatches or whatnot, and they say, aha, now I can throw this out, but this I might still need, and so on. Can you just imagine how much attention is stuck on these unfinished cycles? What I'm about to say is especially a message to women. A well-organized communication system is an elixir of youth, of a kind, because when a person has his attention stuck in the past, and all unfinished cycles stick our attention in the past, and we don't reach our purposes, we look tired. Have you ever had this happen? You have a list of things to do for the day, targets, and the day goes by and you haven't done any of them. How do you feel? You feel tired. But there is also the other side of the coin, where you did everything you planned. How do you feel? Sure, maybe physically you've had to run around a bit and you're slightly tired, but emotionally you're in a splendid mood. You finish your cycles of action. Possibly there were quite a few of them and all were completed. Then your emotional state is quite high and you feel uplifted. In short, when cycles are not finished, we feel tired. And what does a tired person look like? He's all wrinkled, wrinkles start to come out and old age come. So, even just for the sake of physiology, why, and especially for women, possibly it's important to you to look young, beautiful, attractive, etc. So use the communication system and stay young. In conclusion to our talk on DevT, I want to give you a few very important quotes which sum up this subject. An org that has no comm discipline is a madhouse. It will be expensive, it will produce very little, and it will drive its execs up the chimney. Heavy ethics and offloads occur. These are almost always the result of a whole org gone around the bend from Dev T. Accidents happen, people get ill, and the place falls apart. The only known cure is training and hatting. For years, we underestimated the number of persons needed to train and hat a staff. The whole civilization has troubles because it hasn't even known about hatting, much less that it took someone to do it. L. Ron Hubbard. These quotes bring us to a very obvious conclusion, that the only known remedy for this is training and hatting. My question to you is, where does this training and hatting supposed to happen? Well, how do you bring a new company staff member up to speed? How do you tell him about the org board, which is supposed to be in use in the company, for example? Tell me, if everyone in the company knew what an org board was, how to use it, what a VFP was, what a hat was, what an admin scale was, and so on, do you think the amount of Dev T in your group would decrease? Absolutely. So the conclusion you have to make right this minute is completely obvious. Study on reality business, use all of this data for yourselves personally and for your environment. Because, well, it's doubtful that each and every one of us is going to become such an orator as to get this across to our family and friends and colleagues and juniors and whoever it may be, all these intricacies about the org board, the communication system, about the admin scale and whatnot. Because we're going to have yet a great deal more chapters on reality business. And they will basically all be aimed at making any group, any team, more successful and much more effective.